We made it. We have come full circle and finally gotten to the point where we no longer are confined to either skill nor DPS. I don't only have to use the capacitor with builds like these, but instead have a choice of what to use. Meaning that with the advantage of having insanely hard-hitting skills, I can equip the Ouroboros, the Iron Lung, the Eagle Bearer, St. Elmo's, whatever I want to use. And this is not the only build I can do it with. I mean what I say when stating that it's a new era of builds. Got it.
Explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile explosive seeker mine.
Let's go, let's go. Off the cover.
An agent needs assistance.
Leading out.
Reinforcements.
Let's go. Go. Let's go. Let's get it, boy. Night night. Come on, come on, come on. We got the boost. Let's push it. Let's keep pushing it. Let's go. We got the hollows. Come up here. Let's go. I'm going around. Hey, let's get out of here. We in a choke. Stuff.
Now, out of all the Predators Mark builds I've put out, this is by far the most ambitious, and I know you're hyped to see it, so like the video if you are, and subscribe to my channel for builds from DPS all the way to skill. This build has something I have never told anyone in a YouTube video before, and it literally blew my mind. A feature that only the ongoing directive gear set has the capability to offer, so I suggest that you start farming it right now. That being said, I think I need to just show you exactly what I'm talking about, so we're starting right now. Okay, we have a great build for you today. This build is insane, and I'm not even hyping it up, trying to make it seem like it's this amazing build more than what it is. What you see is what you get, and it is actually mind-blowing. Because like I said before, this is the first time in Division 2's history that we're able to get a build with the capability like this. And I have two versions of this, PvP and PvE, because in PvE it's easier to me in my opinion, so I can make builds with less armor, like even 726k, and be fine because NPCs are stupid, they do the same things, and you could just coast through most content if you play it right. So you're able to have more reds or more blues or whatever the case, whatever you want to do. But for PvP, it's different. And when I make my builds, I try to make them for all content, PvE and PvP. And this is one of those. Now, I've stressed before how good the Iron Lung is in PvP in general. That gun is just amazing. But let's start off with the specialization, and that's Technician. The Technician, I always talk about this because of the fact that it gives you an extra skill tier. It has dismantling that gives you more damage to robotics and skill proxies, and it allows you to be either a healer or deal more damage with your skills. But for this, I mainly wanted it to use it for the extra skill tier so that I can get the amount that I was talking about. But the Iron Lung is the primary weapon that I'm using. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because I can use any one of these weapons and be successful with them. The problem was that before, people didn't want to sacrifice their DPS for skills because you were dealing no damage with your weapon, but this is completely on another level. But this right here is the reason why I'm using the Iron Lung for ongoing directive. If you don't know what ongoing directive is, the gear set, it basically gives you hollow point ammo. It also has 30% reload speed, which is perfect for LMGs. As we know, LMGs have a really long reload, so 30% is always great. But this has something called rules of engagement, where shooting a status affected enemy will apply a mark. Killing that mark enemy grants a full clip of hollow point ammo for your active weapon and half of the clip of the agent's active weapon to the rest of the party. And this mark lasts for 10 seconds, so you have plenty of time to get this. Now, hollow point ammo amplifies your weapon damage by 20% and applies bleed on hit. Okay, but with the chest piece, it has parabellum rounds. This is the chest piece specific talent that it gives you. It increases the hollow point damage by 15%, so now you get 35%. This is like wearing glass cannon, bro. It's insane. And it does the same thing for your party members. Okay, so the reason why I have the Iron Lung is because once you get to 50% of the weapon's standard magazine and the meter is full, the rounds shot by the weapon ignite enemies and set them on fire. This will give you the hollow point ammos when you kill enemies that are set on fire by this. And this is not the only tool that I'm using to apply status effects. I also have 4 to 6 skill tiers, which I'm about to get into right now because I have the mechanical animal, right? Also, I don't have damage to target side of cover on this. I'm tweaking, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me. Usually I have this part on point, but I guess I got some work to do right now, okay? But this has future perfection. This is the perfect version of future perfect. And it says weapon kills grant 1 skill tier for 19 seconds and it stacks up 4 times. So you're going to get overcharged every 90 seconds. But if you're not overcharged, you're going to get 6 skill tiers whenever you kill somebody. And you can kill somebody in no time. And I'll get into the skills because, like I said, there's something that ongoing directive does to your skills that I had no idea that it did. And these are the skills that I use for PvP, but I'm going to switch them out when I explain to you exactly how this is going to go. But the way this works is that I have the Ninja Bike backpack. With the Ninja Bike backpack, I'm able to get the skill tiers that I need and armor cores because the Ninja Bike gives you 1 skill tier, 1 armor core, and weapon core. Okay, so this is how I'm able to have 5 weapon cores, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one is with this Bakaro's holster because it gives you 15% weapon damage. Now, the attributes that you want to roll on your gear are crit chance because with ongoing directive, you only have 1 attribute, right? So if you don't have the tools that you need to get crit chance and damage, you want to make sure you roll crit chance until you get almost max or maximum crit chance so you can at least be dealing that crit as much as possible. And then whatever's left over, then you can add the crit damage. So I have crit chance mods and everything is rolled to crit chance. So I'm pretty much maxed out on that, and I have a decent amount of crit damage. But the Bakaro's holster is what gives me the 2nd skill tier along with the skill haste, which I don't really need. And this build is not really based on status effects because the backpack normally before, back in the past, I would push this heavy, like, no, you got to use a backpack when running ongoing directive because the specific talent it has is Trauma Specialist, which increases the duration of your bleed status effects by 50% and all bleed damage done by 100%. That was better before diminishing returns joined the party. Okay, diminishing returns is something fierce and it works really good, especially if you're using something like the bleed hive. And that's why I'm not using it in here. I mean, in PvE you can, but this build is not based on like high status effects. Let me make the enemy bleed as much as I can. This build is based on making the enemy bleed and capitalizing on the damage that you deal with the hollow points and supporting your team with that as well. This is not only a DPS build, it's also a support build, it's also a skill build. So it's like one of the most complete hybrids I've ever made, period. And if you want, you can use this D50 with Sadist, give you 20% damage to bleeding enemies, but I don't really use that, just the mechanical animal and Iron Lung. And you can use Ouroboros, you can use the St. Elmo's. That's why it's so crazy, man. It's your choice, right? But in PvP, I use like the burn sticky bomb, of course, right? Because it has a decent low cooldown, especially when I'm at 6 skill tiers. And I don't really use mechanical animal in PvP because it's hard to get kills and get those skill tiers and maintain that. It's really for PvE, right? But the Iron Lung is mainly for PvP. But you already know that when you use this sticky bomb, you can disable the enemies completely, stagger them, set them on fire, then they're going to be blind firing, they're going to be hip firing. It puts them in a very compromised situation that's very hard for them to get out of. Okay, and then for the other skill I'm using is the Seeker Mine, the explosive Seeker Mine. This has a 27-second cooldown, and this is great just having these at your beck and call, just being able to toss these out. They're a nuisance. I hate when I see an explosive Seeker Mine just rolling towards me slowly. I have to strategically plan how I'm going to evade it, and sometimes I mess up. It's just a really good skill to use. But this is the PvE version that I'm using right here, okay? And you can actually change this Bakaro's holster to a skill tier, and then you'll be missing out on that armor, right? And then you'll have like 926, but you'll have 5 skill tiers, 5 weapon cores, and 1 armor core, which will make it easier for you to overcharge and get to 6 skill tiers with the mechanical animal. But this is what I was talking about. Let me just go to the gun range real quick because I just want to show you what I'm talking about. And I never knew this until recently, and I'm like, yo, this is insane. This is what I was talking about the hollow points do for you. They don't only help your team, they don't only help you with your damage, but they also help your skills. I don't know if you knew that, right? Because I want you to look at the damage that I'm dealing with my turret, right? Okay, the turret is dealing 57k, right? Okay, see, now I have hollow point ammo, right? Now look at what the damage the turret is doing. It's doing 77,000, so it gives you like 20,000 more damage when you have hollow points in your ammo. So it increases the damage of your skills. That's crazy, man. So this is a support build, it's a skill build. Now, when I pull the mechanical animal out, it's just going to give me a skill tier and increase that to 5. You see, boom. And if I kill him again, now 6 skill tiers. Now let's overcharge. And this isn't even, I don't even have hollows with this, right? Now my skills are overcharged. Yeah, bro. So that's just what I wanted to show you about that. Okay. So let me show you the stats. All right. With the Iron Lung, like I said, I'm almost at max critical hit chance. This is as much as I was able to get. And this build is best run with a team because they can capitalize on the hollow points. And it's just a great support build slash DPS slash skill build. And if somebody else is running Coyote's Mask, of course, they'll help you out with the crit chance and damage, and you'll have way more than this. Well, the mechanical animal is 60% crit chance, so that's maximum. But that is pretty much the build, y'all. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I wanted to make sure I covered everything in here, and if there was something I left out, please share it below in the comment section. But this right here is a new era of building. This is not the only build that can do that. Other builds can do that, like strikers, anything else that you set up in a way to allow you to have more skill tiers and weapon cores, you can do it. And you just need the Ninja Bike backpack. And a lot of people think that the Ninja Bike backpack is not really viable to use, but some of the builds that I've made with it make me believe that that's just not true. Because what the Ninja Bike does, it allows you to have so many advantages that the bonuses other backpacks besides Ninja Bike offer will not affect your build when using the Ninja Bike backpack. Like, for example, you get tons of skill haste when mixing certain pieces, or you gain so many extra skill tiers, or you can stack a whole bunch of headshot damage bonuses like with the hot shot headshot builds. There's no way you can get that much headshot damage if you didn't have the Ninja Bike backpack. So what would you rather choose? Tons of headshot damage or one talent that gives you 25% damage when you're not hit, for example? So it's just your choice. But the fact is that it's an equal decision. It's not something that's an outlandish decision if you use something other than the Ninja Bike or not. This is actually a viable solution. It just depends on how you build. But let me stop rambling on. Let me know what you think about this build down below in the comment section. I'm having a ball with it, and it's just so fun in all forms of content. PvE, legendary, all of that. So I highly suggest that you build this. Make sure you roll damage to targets out of cover on your weapons. Don't do like me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about this down below. I appreciate you stopping by, and if this helped you out in any way, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'd love to have you. I'll see you in the next one, fam. Be right out.